Hi, welcome to Real Talk, where we discuss every topic related to the swinging lifestyle. We're your hosts,
I'm Rob.
and I'm Sarah. Since this is our first podcast, we thought we would tell you guys a little something about ourselves and our experiences in the lifestyle.
Yes, so we're married. We're from Omaha, Nebraska. Have been together, God, 30 years. Married?
We've been married for 21 years.
Well, we've been together.
They're
for
almost 30, yeah.
Been in the lifestyle. We got into the lifestyle when we were 26 years old. And it does have its struggles. But, for the most part, we've really enjoyed all the aspects and meeting all the people that we do.
And we have met a lot of great people in lifestyle. Basically, when we started in the lifestyle, there really wasn't any ways to research the lifestyle. And at the time, there was no forums that you could really get onto. Not a lot of chat groups that dealt with that topic. The only thing around at that time when we got in was house parties, or if you knew somebody that would invite you to one of those parties. There wasn't any real way to network. One of our first experiences, we had actually went to a house party, and our first time was kind of awkward. We had met a couple, and we thought we might be ready to go into a room with the couple because that was what we thought if you were at these parties you were supposed to do.
I don't even think we really even talked about ground rules or set boundaries or anything.
We didn't. We kind of jumped in with both feet when we first started doing this. Like I said, when we went to our first party, we met a really nice couple, and we talked to them for a little bit and proceeded to go in the bedroom with them. When stuff started happening, I think I handled it better than he did at the time.
Oh, yeah.
He was, when stuff started happening, he wasn't having any of it. He realized that it sounded way better when we were discussing it in the bedroom than it did when it was actually happening. Needless to say, that was a very long and quiet ride home. The next time we went, it was at the same location. We did get a tour when we first went to the first party. I don't think we were really paying attention to the tour because there was an open playroom. If you went upstairs, it was a pretty much anything goes room.
Yeah, open group play area.
So I forgot that was an open playroom. And so I went upstairs and he did follow me. When we got up there, I was surrounded by a group of gentlemen and actually lost sight of him. And I started to do things I probably wasn't really comfortable doing just because we were up there and I had all these gentlemen touching me, putting their cocks in my hand, and so I just decided to go with the flow. Luckily, he had a more level head and pulled me out.
Yeah, that was a sight. I had to get on my hands and knees and crawl through these guys.
Yeah.
And I grabbed a hold of her and I actually pulled her.
Physically yanked me out.
Underneath all these people, pulled her out of there. And we went downstairs, and I'm like, what the hell?
So basically, what we are trying to say is you're going to have all different kind of experiences when you first start. One of the reasons we decided to do these podcasts was to make sure that people really didn't have the same mistakes that we did. So we want to educate you a little bit more about what you're getting into and maybe making sure you're not going to have that long silent ride home.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the things we kind of want to talk about is giving you kind of a definition of what swinging is. And honestly, there isn't any real definition. Swing means different things to different people, depending on what your level is, what you're comfortable doing. There are different aspects to swinging. You have your voyeurism, where you just want to watch other couples having sex or have other couples watching you. Also, there's something called soft swap, and that can mean a number of different things. It could be where you get into a room with a couple and it's just oral or just touching, or maybe it's just watching two females play with each other. Then we have something called full swap, and that's where the couples basically go into a room and they swap partners. Just know that you'll be at different levels in this lifestyle. What you start out at may not be where you're going to stay at. And that's where conversations are going to have to come in, and we will discuss more of that in a little bit. The first thing that is very important is having a conversation about the lifestyle. If you are interested and have talked about it, the one thing we tell you is to make sure that both of you are on board.
Yeah, don't start out. Most time these topics come up when you're in bed together having sex, and you may drop, oh, honey, I'd love to watch you with somebody else. You're caught in the heat of the moment, but that's not really the right time to bring these discussions up. You know, you could start out there by doing that, but you really need to go sit on a sofa together and say, really, honey, here's my thoughts. I've been having thoughts about trying things with different people. I want to get your feelings on it. Would you be interested in pursuing some of this, going and finding out education, learning these things, maybe going and meeting other people. Um, and don't just have the talk once. You need to talk over a couple weeks, even a
Yeah.
month, really. And, make sure it's something you both want to do. And don't be surprised if the wife is not as interested in it to start with, because I've talked to people and they're like, how do I get my wife in this? She doesn't like it. We've talked about it, but she's not having it. Honestly, sometimes it may just not be for her, and she may just say, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to pursue it. I
Um,
don't want nothing to do with it.
I have to stop you right there because I have found that husbands think they're into it, and then when it comes down to it, hello, aren't interested as much as they thought they were.
Right.
So you can't always say it's the wife.
That's called having your cake and eating it
Yeah.
too.
Um, the one thing I will have to say is be honest with each other. If you find that this is not something that you're remotely interested in, do not tell your partner that it's something you want to do. I have seen countless couples where they tell the partner that they're fine with it, they want to pursue it, and then When it comes down to it, they're not about it. They want no part of it.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, also it really creates an anger and a hurtful feeling in a relationship if you feel that your partner is pushing you to do something you don't want to do. So if this isn't something you want to do, then tell them. If nothing else, you can revisit it later down the line. But if you're not at that place right now, then don't tell them that you are.
Right. You know, and that gets into ground rules and discussing all these boundaries and things like that. You really have to have those conversations with each other if you do decide to go, okay, we'll go to a party, we'll go to a meet and greet, or we'll go to a house party, but you want to have ground rules in place before you get there. Don't just jump in and do something and then there's jealousy or you have a pissed off spouse or something like that down the road. I always talk to people and they're like, we want to do this. How do we do it? We don't know how to even get involved in it. And I always tell people, talk, 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 talk. That's what you have to do. You have to discuss these things with each other because if you start and have boundaries, ground rules, going into this what's going to bother the other person. So
Also, do not use the lifestyle to fix a broken relationship. We found that people think that if they have sex with other people, it'll fix what's wrong in their marriage or relationship.
and that's the farthest from the truth.
That will, if your relationship is not secure, it can totally destroy it. So if you're looking for this as a quick fix, then you're in this for the wrong reasons. And I highly suggest that you don't pursue this.
Yeah, you need counseling or something like that, not swinging. There's countless studies out there that have showed that the divorce rate between most swingers is a lot lower than it is for normal couples that are monogamous with each other. If your relationship is solid and you have a strong foundation, you're going to succeed in this, and it actually can make your relationship a lot stronger and
Yeah.
healthier.
We've actually found that for our relationship, it's enhanced it.
Yeah.
But again, we have been with each other for a long time and we are secure in our relationship to where that kind of stuff doesn't bother us. But if you're not at that level, then I would suggest you don't pursue the swinging lifestyle.
Right.
Also, the next step we would suggest that you do is do research on it. There's tons of websites out there that can help you decide if the swinging lifestyle is what you want to do. There's chat rooms, there's forums, there's also adult-based websites that you can join that will help you talk to people that are already in the lifestyle and also help you meet people.
Yeah, you can actually get on these sites and put a profile up with pictures. You could actually look at other couples and things like that as well. The Kick groups, there's chat groups on Kick that's pretty popular right now. Kick almost died out, 3 years ago, I think it was, and it's really making a comeback. There's countless chat rooms for swingers, people in the lifestyle.
And we will discuss the adult-based websites that you could actually join and put up profiles. And on our next podcast, we're going to teach you how to navigate through those sites and also give you some sites that you can go to if you do decide that you want to pursue the swinging lifestyle. The next thing that we're going to talk about is the chat about ground rules.
You know, we covered a little bit of it, but we're gonna get a little more in depth with it.
Basically, as we've said, have honest and open conversations. Always look at each other and figure out what it is that you both are comfortable doing. And when you establish these ground rules, make sure you do not deviate from them. If you do decide to deviate from the ground rules, because like I said, you might be in one place at one moment and decide you want to advance to the next level. If you do that, please talk to each other before you ever decide to go outside your ground rules. I realize in the heat of the moment, things might happen that you don't expect to happen because you're dealing with another set of people. So,
Yeah, and that really won't matter to your partner. Like if you go into this and she says, "I don't want you kissing someone," or she says, you know, or he says, "I don't want you kissing somebody," and all of a sudden he looks over and sees some guy's tongue in your mouth, you know, that's going to be a big issue. And believe it or not, you're going to hear about it eventually. So, um,
more than likely that night.
yeah, and you know, it's going to hurt that person. It's going to bring out jealousy issues, things like that. And you know, like we said, it's always better to talk about these things ahead of time and stick to those ground rules. Don't break them just in the heat of the moment because it's going to cause problems. It's going to cause you to take three steps back, you know, when you're really starting out into this, you know. And you know, when you're discussing, you know, your likes and dislikes and things like that, don't be afraid to be honest with your partner and say, I really want to try this, and it's probably going to shock your partner a little bit, if a guy says, I've never done anything with another guy, but I wouldn't mind trying something with someone at one time, that you have to be honest, don't, it's like living a lie, really. So you want to be honest with your partner. It might freak them out a little bit and go, oh, okay, well, that's something I really didn't know about you. And, I don't know.
But you both have to be okay with it. I
Yeah.
mean, if that's something beyond your other partner's comfort zone, honesty is great, but just make sure that you're both okay to try that or do that. Um, as we've said, if you're going to make changes, discuss it, discuss it, discuss it. Don't ever do something until you completely discuss it first. The other thing is to somewhat prevent stuff from happening that you don't want to happen. Always have a signal or a safe word. If you're in a room with a couple and something is not going the way you want them to, you need to have some sort of signal so you can let your partner know that you want to stop.
Yeah. And the golden rule is, no means no. And, that's universal in anything you do. If you're in a room with someone, don't feel like, oh, I got to let this happen, and because you're afraid you're going to offend someone. If you're not comfortable and you don't like how things are going, simply say, "I'm sorry, no, we need to stop." And I mean, that's what it is. No means no.
And me myself, I have a hard time saying no. So we actually worked out a signal to where I could let him know that this isn't cool with me instead of saying no. I have this thing of offending other people, and that is an issue I do need to work on.
Yeah.
But in order for stuff to not upset me or for things to happen that I don't want to, we decided to come up with the code word of the signal.
Yeah. It used to be she'd just kick me.
That really did happen, yeah. Um, so, like I said, this is a great lifestyle if you're ready for it. And if you guys have had the conversation and had it properly and made sure that you don't deviate from any of the rules that you guys set. If so, then you can have a great time with this. And if you do follow a lot of these things that we're telling you, then you won't have a lot of those uncomfortable rides home and one of them is sleeping on the couch. Usually it's him, but
Yeah.
uh,
Well, I mean, in the swinging lifestyle too, you're doing this together. So it's not like one partner's running off and you're always having that fear in the back of your mind that that person is cheating on you, having an affair, things like that. Because this is something you're both involved in, and it
and you
does.
both agree to.
Yeah, and it does make relationships a lot stronger and healthier. I know for us, we've had ups and downs, but for the most part, we're very happy with the things we do.
And the other thing, remember, if you do want to get into the lifestyle, you can always step back from it. You don't have to stay in it continuously. If you guys decide that you need a break, then take a break. You'll find if you keep pushing each other, then your lifestyle is going to quit. Chances are you're just going to say, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. And that's the same with why we're telling you to discuss everything, because I have found that there are couples that come and go, and basically it's because they didn't decide it was time to take a break or they didn't talk enough about what they were comfortable doing. So, in order for this to work for you, you really do need to discuss everything.
Yeah.
There's nothing off limits, and discuss it all.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Do you want to go ahead and discuss some of the adult websites?
I think we're going to do that in the next podcast, and then we'll come up with the sites and let them know which sites are um, prominent, at least in our area. You will have to realize that there are different sites that are more popular in whatever state or
Yeah,
area you're in.
some of them are state specific, regional specific. There's some catered towards the Midwest, some for the West Coast, East Coast. So we'll give you a list of all of them, and you can kind of get on. And they all give trial memberships, so you can get on and look them over. Some are not very user friendly. Other ones are a lot better.
And we'll try and give you the clues as to which ones are
Yeah.
maybe more user friendly than some of the others.
Yeah, and they all charge. So don't be surprised when you get on there and you get your trial that they're going to ask for you to buy a membership. Yeah, that's how they stay in business. That's how they help you meet other people and connect. And it brings more people in the lifestyle, and you can advertise parties on there. You can see what's going on in different states. There's a lot of them that deal with travel, cruises, all kinds of things. And we're going to get in. Yeah,
there are resorts that are dedicated to nothing
yeah.
but the swinger lifestyle, and we'll discuss all those and give you a little bit of information about the resorts that are available to people who want to travel for the swing lifestyle. And also, if there's any upcoming events, we will update you on our podcast of where they are and where they might be.
Yeah. So at this time, I want to go ahead and mention our sponsor for the show of Real Talk. We are sponsored by Our Place, and some people know what Our Place is. Some people do not know. Our Place is a social club, house party, that it's a lifestyle venue.
Located in Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah, and their slogan is "Where lifestyle
friends meet."
Exactly. So, if you want more information on them, you can go to www.ourplaceomaha.com, and check them out. They have a very informative website that'll give you a lot of information. So I honestly think that we covered a lot today. So we're going to be doing these weekly. So we'll try and put a schedule out as we start doing this. This is our very first episode, so we're still working bugs
Working
out.
bugs out
Yeah,
and
we
kind of
have
get
to.
used to the mics. And
Yeah, so we're working with all this stuff, getting used to all the equipment and things like that. Um, but we will try to let people know that when the next show will be coming out, and these are going to be recorded as well, so you can come back and watch them at your leisure. If you'd like, you can also email questions in to us.
Sure.
So
we'll try to answer them
yeah,
at the beginning of
yeah.
every show.
So leave your comments and definitely subscribe. Hit that subscribe button at the bottom, and you can either leave your questions down here in the description and leave a comment, or you can actually email us. We did go ahead and set up an email address. It's just www.ourplaceomaha@gmail.com. So since we're sponsored by them, we went ahead and got a email address set up for that in that type of setting. So with that, I'm Rob.
I'm Sarah, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, this is Real Talk. We'll be working on how to close these shows out and get a little bit better so we're not talking over each other.
And like I said, thank you for joining us, and we welcome all your feedback. And we hope you have a good night.
All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
We did everything. You know what?
27 minutes, though.
That one went much smoother.